Google subscriber is visible, sir? This particular cloud version?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So whenever you will open a link, this window will get popped up. So you will find 3 folders. So I will just brief you up in 5 minutes, then we can start with the score. So this folders will get popped up, which is in the name of user manual and ready reckoner. So these are nothing but this is a step-by-step content guide on how to use our platform. So suppose even if you want to revisit and revise any concept, if you have forget something, you can refer our ready reckoner. So in a very simpler words, it is our platform guide. So it is in the form of PDF, it is in the form of presentation. Same thing, we are providing a video tutorial as well. So from onboarding to navigating our worksheet, each and everything is being covered. So that you can utilize our worksheet, you can harness the features effectively. So आपको जो भी features कैसे use करना है, that you will get through a video tutorial. Apart from that, we are also providing non-algorithmic fund selection support. So this is on the basis of feedback from various users and subscribers. So one thing which I want to disclose with respect to this folder is that this is not our primary expertise or our forte area. These we are providing as an additional hand-holding service so that you can accelerate your implementation process with respect to the fund. In a very simpler word, you can say that, sir, we are providing second opinion to you that what are the funds which you can select across different categories. So we have covered all the major categories. So if I specify, we have covered 40 plus category across debt, across equity, across hybrid and gold. So these are the 3 folders. Again, that's why I have named this folder as a non-algorithmic fund selection support. Now, the area which is our like a primary expertise is and where our forte lies is the algorithmic workbooks. So we have 4 algorithmic workbook. So to start with, there is a valuation cycle workbook, there is a business cycle workbook, algo sub allocation, algo global valuation. So what does valuation cycle signify? So valuation cycle signify where are we standing in valuation cycle, and it helps us to evaluate a broader equity debt ratio for a different set of investor. Sorry. So what does business cycle signify? So business cycle tells us where are we standing in business cycle, and it helps us to evaluate and select broader category of equity. So broader category of equity, when I'm saying broader equity category, it is flexi cap, multi cap, balanced advantage fund, multi asset allocation fund, and equity sync fund. So we are covering from aggressive to moderate to conservative for different set of investor. Now the third layer is algo sub allocation. Here we tell a market cap concentrated fund in equity category. When I am saying market cap concentrated fund, so we are covering large cap, mid cap, small cap in equity category, and we are covering long term debt and short term debt in debt category. Last but not the least, we are providing a valuation analytics pertaining to US market as well. So why we are serving only for a US market? Because US market sets the tone for an Indian market. And if we look after US market, actually it serves as a foundation for a global market as well. So for specifically for a US market, we are providing analytics, but on a personalized basis, we are assessing standard valuation measure of all the major global market. So whenever you will see a message pertaining to any global market, we are not providing any analytics behind that, but on a personalized basis, we are measuring some of the standard valuation measures of a global market. So on the basis of that, that call is being generated. So those alert will be generated on a timely basis whenever we see a margin of safety is favorable. So otherwise, you can go and refer US market valuation analytics on a regular basis. Apart from that, we are providing a thematic and a sectoral ranking also for our domestic sector from 1 to 10. So these are our 4 major workbooks, sir, algo workbook. So to start with the valuation cycle workbook. So when you open a valuation cycle workbook, our navigation panel will look something like this. So this navigation panel will help you to navigate across worksheet. I hope this is visible.
Yes, Ashish.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, sir. Perfect. So, so this navigation will help you to navigate across worksheet. Now, each workbook will be divided into 3 sections. You will have you have a green color section, you have an orange color section, and you have a blue color section. So in summary, the blue color section summary is nothing but it is a condensed format of a green color section and an orange color section. So in simpler word, we are saying that summary will provide you operational blueprint. That what are the to-do list for you. If you want a detailed study apart from summary, you can go and refer strategy and solution. So here we are providing a numerical working. Here we are providing a graphical visualization of the action which we have taken. Plus we are providing the clarity on understanding the outcome. Means agar these are the numerical. So suppose if I make a flow chart. So if this is the numerical working on the basis of this numerical working, these are my action areas. And if these are my action areas, then what are the outcomes? So this particular orange part is covering that. Now for this numerical working, we need some underlying rationale, right? So all the underlying rationale are being provided in green part. So depending upon your time, energy and effort, sir, if you just want a to-do list, you can go and refer summary. If you want a more detailed study, you can go on orange part. If you want a more in-depth exploration, then you can go on the green part. Again, on an in-depth exploration, you can start from here. Mean from master valuation score, now from where this master valuation, master scaling and master derived has been arrived, so that has been derived on the basis of this lighter green zone. So step by step, transparently, we have disclosed each and everything. So when I'm saying the greener part, so these are my underlying rationale. Now these underlying rationale are divided into three parts. That is the input, scores and analytics. So as we have already covered, sir, I will again not cover what are the inputs which we are taking. We are taking 20 plus inputs across 4 workbook. So in this particular workbook, we are taking 6 input, which is like bond equity earning ratio, price to earning, price to book value, markup to GDP, Schiller P. So markup to GDP and Schiller P are my fine tuners. These are my foundational metrics. Now, apart from input, we are providing scores and analytics. So what are the scores? So scores are nothing, sir, but it is our algo based system convert each and every metric into a common language. So that we called as a score. So most of the advisors, let's say, if they are not acquainted with the bond equity earning ratio, and if they just refer a bond equity earning scaling score. So sir, just on a navigation part, whenever you put a cursor on any particular worksheet, a description box will get opened. A corresponding description box will be there. And you will able to read the content and how a content will come, and that will tell you how to read that content inside a worksheet. And when you will click on that particular worksheet, you will able to enter that worksheet. Now, if you again want to come to the navigation panel, on the left hand side, you have all the worksheet which is related to the beer. So again, you can go and refer, and the description box will get open whenever you will put a cursor on a worksheet. And when you will click on that, you will able to enter that particular worksheet. Now again, if you want to come to the main menu, just click on the main menu, you will come to the main navigation panel. So this is how you can overall navigate, and this is how you can overall can understand the functionality of each worksheet. By just putting a cursor, a description, by reading a description box, you will able to know what is the function of that particular worksheet. I think I am sufficiently clear, sir, on how to navigate, even if you forget. अगर आप भूल गए होंगे तो. So so even if you don't understand beer, you can just put a beer scaling score. So a beer scaling score varies from 0 to 100. Below 35 it tells cheap zone. 50 to 60 is like a fair zone. 60 to 80 is a fair to expensive. Above it is expensive. So this is how you can read each and every worksheet. If you want an in-depth exploration on, if you have like say some of your favorite metrics are there. If you want to explore it in-depth basis, you can go and explore it, and you can develop your own framework also. But this is our underlying rationale. These are here our numerical working and action and outcome, and this is the condensed format of a green and an orange part. Now let me directly jump into the summary section, because the agenda behind today was to briefly navigate, briefly give you the description of a platform, as well as what are the current reading of the scores. So for a current reading of the scores, you can read from here also, and you can read from a summary section also. But in summary section, the beauty of a summary section is you will get a bird eye view of an entire workbook. Means if you are going into a evaluation cycle workbook, you will have a bird eye view of an entire workbook. So how to navigate this summary section, sir? So in each summary section, you again have a blue description box and a yellow description box. The blue description box will tell you how to read the content below a particular column. So this particular blue box is telling you how to read the content of an aggregated valuation distilled score. And this, from this yellow content, you can navigate the summary according to your desired time frame. So according to a desired month and desired year, suppose if you want to see the summary of valuation cycle of 2004 April, you can go and you can just put a cursor here and click on that. A drop down menu will come. From a drop down menu, you will able to access the summary and of means you can access the summary of entire market phases, of entire valuation phases. So right now we are currently seeing the summary of December 2023. So we have transparently disclosed summary for each and every month, for each and every year for the past 20 years. But we have studied metrics for last 28 years. हमने 8 साल का इसलिए disclose नहीं किया because in first 8 years we need to do a back testing, and on the basis of that back testing last 20-year results have been arrived. So for first 8 years all the number crunching were being done. So we haven't provided for from 1996 to 2004 we haven't provided any summary for a particular year. But after 2004 we will get a summary. So that is a part of actually Six Sigma study. हम जिसको statistical study में भी बोलते हैं, statistical study में कि हमें कुछ पार्ट छोड़ना पड़ता है डेटा को स्टडी करने के लिए. So yes, so in each summary section will part a yellow, from where a drop down menu will come and you can select the summary according to a desired month and desired year. From a blue, a description box will get open and will tell you how to read a particular graphical visualization of that column. So this aggregated valuation distilled score. So again, on the left hand side, sir, I want to cover this. So this is my action zone for a different set of investor. So before coming to the action zone, each and every workbook now we have calculated a distilled score also. So suppose if you don't want to study all these different scores of a different metric, now you will have a single distilled score of a valuation cycle that is known as aggregated valuation distilled score. So when you will put a cursor here, a corresponding description box will get opened. It will tell you above 8 it is expensive, below 4.75 it is cheap, 4.75 to 5.75 it is fair to cheap. So all this distilled score will vary from 4 to 8. The near to 4 you are on a cheaper version, near to 8 you are on a expensive version. Below 4 and below 8 are like outlier, which happened very like say once in a 10 year. So most of the time this score will vary from 4 to 8. So if you will look after current, if you look after what is the current valuation distilled score for December 2023, it is 5.46. Now, one thing which has surprised us in this particular update of December work. So, sir, when I will access to November, na, so treat that November worksheet as the end of November. So when I am saying this December 2023, this is not an end of December 2023 because this is a fortnightly update. So this is the 15th December 2023. But when you look after a November worksheet, that will be the end of November worksheet. When you look after August algo, it will be the end of August algo. So at the end of August, we update what are the algos are telling. So at the end of August, you will act, and then again the next algorithm will get updated on at a September end. So on a month end basis, we are updating our algorithm, and on a fortnightly basis also we are updating. But on the fortnightly basis, we will be communicating it to you. But ultimately, when you will click on a December 2023 after 30th December, it will tell you the summary of the entire December 2023. So I think I'm sufficiently clear with this.
Yeah, Ashish.
Perfect. So when I am saying December, although it is 15th December, but after 30th December, it will be like 31st December ending. For November, it is like 30th November ending. So let's come into the main point. Now, what has happened? So in our study of 8 lakh plus data point for last 28 years across 20 plus metric, this has never happened, sir. This has happened for the first time. So what has happened? This is for the first time that our foundational metric is telling us that we are in 5.46. The matrix is 5.46. Even if you are not able to read this particular variation from 4 to 8, a color has been provided. So even if we'll see, we are in a light green color. So light green color means we are in fair to cheap zone. So this has happened for the first time that our foundational matrix is telling us that we are 5.46 and we are in a fair to cheap zone. But our fine tuner, which is Schiller P and market cap to GDP, this has happened for the first time, sir. This has never happened before. My buffet score, that is a market cap to GDP, has entered to 122%. But as we have already told you, we never look after matrix, we look after score. But the score of a buffet is 1.38. So whenever it has crossed 1.35, it has come into the red zone. Schiller P is just about to enter into a red zone. So apart from our foundational matrix, we used to look after fine tuner also. So our action is on the basis of foundational matrix plus fine tuner. So whenever you look after fine tuner, sir, this fine tuner will why we call as a fine tuner? Why we have kept this separately from a foundational matrix? Because this fine tuner work extremely well during extreme zone. On the mid path, they are very dormant. Means on a mid path, you will see a very blank. You will see यहाँ पर आप सारे बहुत से cursors में देखेंगे, these are the blank zone. So it get activated only during extreme. So last 3 times it has got activated was in 2021 August at 17,100 level Nifty. Before that, it got activated in 2007 September at 5,000 Nifty level. And before that, it got activated in 2000 before a ice burst. Ice burst means this internet communication and entertainment का जो bubble था उसके पहले this has got activated. So this has got activated in last 28 years. This has got activated for the last 3 times. Now we are very near on activation. So when I am saying on a very near on activation, what I'm trying to say you is, so whenever it got activated, our foundational matrix was also not in a fair to cheap zone. But this had happened for the first time that our foundational matrix is also on a cheap zone, and our fine tuner are on a extreme zone, extreme heated zone. But on a rule basis, whenever they got activated, our equity allocation get reduced by 20% on an absolute basis. So even if my foundation matrix is telling that we are still in accumulation zone, but my fine tuner are telling that you have to reduce your equity. So I have to put my weightage to the fine tuner rather than foundational matrix right now. So whatever foundation matrix will tell me, it will detect 20% equity after getting activated. So although it is not activated right now, but it is on the verge of activation. So if you'll see, although it is not activated, 2023 December, it is not activated, but it is on the verge of activation. Why I'm saying it is on the verge of activation? So buffet is already entered. Schiller P is about to enter. So when will Schiller P will enter into a red zone? So my anticipation is if market rally 7 to 8% from here, I think Schiller P score will enter into a red zone. If a market rally 7 to 8% from here. So we have reduced 10% equity allocation with respect to November figure. So we were very clear on November closing also that we are on a cheaper zone. So if you look after my aggregated valuation distilled score. Now, sir, this is the beauty of a distilled score. So last time when we were very close to 5 was in June. Suppose if we have missed that burst, then again we have got the similar kind of entrance during March. Again, if you have missed the burst in March, we have again got the similar kind of entry during October and November. So that is the beauty of our algorithm is. So the 15,000 level was same. The definition or let's say the underlying score or the underlying valuation मैट्रिक का जो statistical analysis है और let's say जो modeling के basis पे हमको जो outcomes मिले, the 15,000 level was same of a 17,000 level of a March and 19,000 level of a November, October, November. So even if you have an enter into October, November, again, we were telling in 20,000 that we are still in fair to cheap zone and fine tuners were not activated. But now the problem is from 5, we have come into 5.46, although December has not ended. So that's why we are not getting a figure for a Nifty 50 here. But it is telling us now this is a time to trim your equity allocation. October, November was a time to enter. July, August was a time to be cautious. Not a time to be cautious, but it was not accumulation zone. So all those subscribers who were in October, I have clearly written on a 25th October message that our algorithm will get updated at the end of October. But I believe that on the basis of 25th October numbers, we have entered clearly into the accumulation zone. And on 26th October, the market has bottomed at the 18,800 level. एंड 19,000 के लेवल में मेरा ये एल्गोरिदम अपडेट हो गया. सो व्हेन वी हैव अपडेटेड एट 19,000 लेवल, वी डिडंट न्यू कि आगे क्या होने वाला है. सिमिलरली हमको यहाँ पे भी नहीं मालूम है कि आगे क्या होने वाला है. So our valuation algo and all those algo tells us where are we standing in the cycle. It never tells us where are we going in the cycle. So on the basis of this assessment that where are we standing in the cycle, we used to ascertain various equity debt ratio, various category ratio, and various market cap concentrated ratio and debt ratio. So this is how we arrive at. So this is the beauty of framework and a rule-based system is, so whenever a user or a subscriber asks us what is the vision with respect to your platform in terms of performance, we never tell that we never know what will be the future performance of the platform. But for one thing which we are very sure, on a relative basis, so on an absolute basis, I don't know what will be the performance, but on a relative basis, I am very much sure that it will outperform 99.9% of the advisor, or let's say 99% of 99.9% of the fraternity who are working in a wealth management arena. So at present, if 8 lakh are actively involved in a wealth management arena, including national brokers, including bank relationship managers, so we will able to beat this platform, will able to beat 99.9% of the player. So that is what we are confident of, and that is what we want to deliver. We never know what will be the future performance or what will be the future return. बट जो भी रिटर्न आएगा हम 99.9 को तो बीट कर देंगे. जब हम कैट के एग्जाम में बैठेंगे विथ अवर फिलोसॉफी, विथ अवर फ्रेमवर्क, विथ अवर स्ट्रक्चर्ड सिस्टम, वी विल एबल टू बीट 99.9% ऑफ द कैंडिडेट. सो मैं ये एक सिंपल एनालॉजी बस देना चाहता हूँ सर. सो दिस इज हाउ आवर current score is. So if you want to access, so again, when you put a cursor here, you can access the score from here. So now if this is the score, now we are providing a minimalistic action zone also. This is score is for regular rebalancing and limited rebalancing. So as you know, we are providing 3 kind of rebalancing. Advisor who want to do a regular rebalancing, advisor who want a limited rebalancing. When I'm saying limited rebalancing, it means let's say twice or thrice rebalancing in a year. And advisor who want a minimalistic rebalancing. When I'm saying minimalistic rebalancing, it means twice or thrice rebalancing, let's say 3 or 4 year. या 2 या 3 ही बार rebalance होगा. So for that also we are providing a zone that is known as a minimalistic action zone. So advisors who are following a minimalistic action zone and who believe in a minimalistic rebalancing means 2 या 3 बार ही पैसों को हाथ लगाएंगे 3 सालों में, they can still take a money in equity. It is still in a green zone. Yellow is a no action zone, and red is the alert zone. Means even if you don't want to exit from your equity, at least don't take a fresh money here, or don't take STP also here. So some of the advisors ask me कि sir STP कर दे क्या? So STP sir एक simple भाषा में बोलूँगा, दिल को तसल्ली देने वाली बात है. We never believe in STP philosophy. Either it has to be in or either it has to be out. Either it will be sitting fence में, या तो fence में बैठेगा, either it will go and play. वो ऐसा नहीं कि आधा बैठा हुआ आधा खेलेगा. So for aggressive equity debt ratio, we have fallen from 75 to 65%. Now this distilled score is being made from a 3 score, that is the valuation score, scaling score, and derived score. And this valuation score, scaling score, and derived score is being made on the basis of various matrix statistical study. So अब इस distilled score का भी हमने यहाँ पे breakdown दे दिया है. So valuation score is telling that you have entered into a yellow zone, that is a fair zone. So what should be your action for a no profile investor? When I'm saying no profile investor, So he's neither aggressive, he's neither moderate, he's neither conservative. He's an ideal investor who is looking for a regular rebalancing. So for that particular kind of investor, we are keeping 50% equity and 50% debt according to our December algo. So if you want to read the profile of this particular investor, just put a cursor over here. So you'll able to read a profile of this investor and you will able to correlate this profile with some of the investor which you are handling. So this is how you can correlate the profile. So just put a cursor, sir. You'll able to read what is this particular pie is telling you and for which set of investor this pie is telling you. So again, this is a graphical visualization of a derived score. Just put a cursor here. It will tell you how to read this derived score. So from here, I've selected a date. So from here, I've selected a month and a year. And blue part will show you how to read all those pie charts and all those pictorial representation. Now the most of the important investor profile which falls under like 60 to 70% of all the advisor fraternities, all in all out investors. So still for all in investor, all in and all out investor, we are sitting in 100% equity according to a December algo. And for an investor who are looking for a limited rebalancing and he's of an ideal profile, we are sitting on a 70% equity and 30% debt. So this is according to this broader equity debt according to a valuation cycle. But as we know, we should never look after valuation cycle in isolation. We believe that apart from valuation cycle, we should also look after business cycle. So let's come into a second worksheet, that is the business cycle. So sir, our meeting will get end into 10 minutes. I will again relog in. So please आप exit मत कीजिएगा, मैं वापस restart कर दूंगा. Exit मत कीजिएगा आप Zoom call से.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Venkat and Nimish is there. Okay, perfect. So business cycle tells us, sir, where are we standing in business cycle? So for business cycle, the metric is totally different from a valuation cycle. So for business cycle, we are taking return on equity, we are taking corporate profit to GDP, EPS growth. So these are some of the metric which falls under a business cycle. Now, why we have attached this business cycle along with the valuation cycle? So whenever you attach a business cycle metric with the valuation cycle metric, your score get more smooth, your score get more stable. So when your scores get more smooth and stable, your frequency of rebalancing get decreased, because whenever you are selecting a category, you don't want to frequently churn it, right? So that's why we have added business cycle to make our score smooth, so that rebalancing will happen only when a proper justified reason will be there, a proper justified range will be there. Then only a rebalancing will happen. So when I'm saying business cycle, so again in business cycle you will have a three kind of view. So first is a green view. This green view will give you underlying rationale. This orange view will tell you the numerical working. It will give you a action zone, and it will give you a clarity on understanding the outcome. So suppose these are the numerical working. On the basis of this numerical working, this is action which you have taken. Now on the basis of this action, what are the outcomes? So all the three part are being discovered. So sir, you will ask me why you are providing all this numerical working, all those kind of stuff. So sir, this particular platform is being used by AMC also. Some of the, I will not name it right now, but this means in future this will be going to be used by some of the AMC also. When I'm saying AMC, that means product team and research desk team of AMC. They will be using this platform as a second opinion. So for them, we have to give each and everything. We have to transparently show each and everything so that they can understand that how we are coming at the outcome. So for that purpose only, we are providing so much in detail. So let me directly navigate you through the three section. So let's say in summary section, if you'll enter, you will have an action and you will have an underlying rationale. So again, now the beauty is, so for all these scores for all this underlying rational, all these score, we have blended distilled score. That is a single distilled score for a business cycle workbook. So even if you don't want to study different metrics of the business cycle, you can just refer and go for a blended distilled score. So if you look after blended distilled score, it got green. We got to accumulation zone from June. That is 15,800 at Nifty level. Which then the same score which we have got in March, around 5.5. Again in June, July, it was June, July, August, September, it was like a no man's zone, a no action zone. In October, November, again we enter into accumulation zone. So whoever are the subscribers now, right now we have like 5 members here, but like let's say there are 90 plus subscribers. So whoever were the subscriber in October, they have clearly got on a 25th October that we are in accumulation zone on the basis of this algorithm. When I'm saying October, this means October ending algorithm. We were in accumulation zone even in November. But right now, we have exited from fair to cheap zone into a fair zone. So how to read this course? Just put a cursor here. A corresponding sheet will get opened, and we came to know how to read, what is the content inside and how to read that content. Just put a cursor over each worksheet. A corresponding description box will get opened. So जो भी मैं बोल रहा हूँ sir, even if you forget, you can just put a cursor, you can go and revisit and revise those concepts. If you don't want to revisit and revise those concepts from a workbook, go into our ready reckoner and user manual, which are acting as a platform guide, and refer those platform guide. So we are providing user manual, we are providing description box, and we are providing video tutorial also. So ये हमेशा आता है कि सर ये तो भूल जाएंगे, इतना सब कुछ है, तो प्लीज जस्ट कर्सर रखिए, आपको समझ ध्यान आ जाएगा. एंड व्हेन यू विल क्लिक अ कर्सर, यू विल एंटर इनटू दैट वर्कशीट. सो ये मेरा बिजनेस साइकिल का डिस्टिल्ड स्कोर है in addition to valuation cycle. So on the basis of this, now let me go into the summary part only. Now this is my December 2023. So this blue part will tell me how to read the content inside, how to read this particular barometer. So we have just crossed a lighter green zone. Means we have just crossed fair to cheap zone according to December 2023 algorithm. That is a 5.79 ratio. For a minimalistic advisor also, according to business cycle, we have just crossed a green zone right now. So what should be your action for a moderate investor? The action for your moderate investor should be a 30% diversified equity and a 70% BAF right now, if you look after broader category selection. So in valuation cycle, we have covered broader asset class selection. Here we are covering broader category selection with the help of business cycle. So business cycle, when I'm saying blended, it means composition of valuation and business cycle. Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Sorry to interrupt. One question. See, when you're talking about 30% diversified equity and 70% BAF,
yes,
is it for fresh money or reallocate the existing portfolio?
So, sir, it again depends upon the advisor, but 99% of the subscriber are using this algorithm for a fresh money. So from here on basis, you can rebalance. But if you don't want to touch your old money, but this is actually for a fresh money as well as for existing asset. But most of the advisors are using it for allocation, taking a guidance for a fresh money.
Ashish, I can completely understand. Yes, this applies beautifully for the fresh money, but to reorient the existing money basis this, it will involve too many changes and too much of taxes and other things, right? So I'm just wondering how to use it for the old money.
So, sir, you can't use it for old money right now, but from ongoing basis, from today, you can adjust this the way it will signal on an ongoing basis. This is what I can say, because it will be very difficult to manage. So suppose if you are managing 500 crore rupees, it will be very difficult for you to adjust this on a entire 500 crore. So you can implement this on your fresh money at least. So that is the at least area which I am saying. At least use it on a fresh money, even if you don't use on an existing asset. But if you are started using on a fresh money, then please then please follow it across market cycle. Means
Understood.
don't outguess the framework, or let's say don't outguess the system. Then religiously follow it.
Got it.
Yes, sir. So sir, बहुत ही बढ़िया क्वेश्चन था सर. So this is the beauty, sir. In December, it is telling you 30% diversified equity, 70% BAF, and again 30% diversified equity, 30% will go in flexi cap. Similarly, if you look after July, where the score was similar in July 2023, it was telling you at 30% diversified equity and 70% BAF, but that 30% was in multi cap. So that is the dynamism, is sir. Why it was selling multi-cap? Because at that time also, small and mid-cap was relatively attractive. But now it is not attractive. Small and mid-cap is not attractive. So if you look after October 2023, let's say, it is telling you 50% diversified equity and 50% BAF. So of course, we were relatively more attractive in October vis-a-vis December 2023. So sir, अभी मेरा Zoom just close होगा. I will again re-enter into it. In next 1 minute, it will get closed.
We will all stay then.
Yeah. Please, you guys, please stay here.
Yeah, okay.
So just to navigate a broader, so this is for a moderate set of investor. Now we'll ask you what are moderate set of investor. So just put a cursor here.